going to talk today about a modem on an Android device, or Arduino device, sorry. The modem is a NimbleLink. You can get all the details from DigiKey. This is its code, or the name of the model, and this is the DigiKey part number. It goes for the price of about 227 Canadian, because I'm in Canada. We're also going to discuss the shield. This is the shield that plugs into the Arduino Uno or Arduino Mega, and it can be purchased for $72. I have several of them, and they've been very useful for me. Now, when I plug it into my Arduino Uno, what I've found is that you can't communicate with the serial. You can't get serial communication unless you use a software serial port, which is possible. It's just more complicated. So I use the Arduino Mega because I jumper the connection to serial 1. So the serial port is the one we use to communicate and program the device, and serial 1 is the one that we use to run the actual modem. So I just jumpered these wires over. It's very simple. To plug in the shield, you plug it in, as you can see here. So the reset pin is lined up here. On the opposite side, this pin will be matched up with ground. And then you plug in your modem, for whatever reason, backwards. So NimbleLink is printed one way and on the Skywire shield, and then you plug in the NimbleLink backwards on the modem. I don't know why they have it designed like that. It's caught me a few times. I haven't damaged a modem that way, although I did have one warm up quite a bit by doing it backwards, so I strongly recommend not doing that, but it does happen on occasion. Okay, so now we're going to go to a program that I wrote for it. It's on git-hub. I got it labeled NimbleLink modem, so that you can look at all the different files that I've put in here. This is just a file you can download. It's free, and it's something that is under development. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so we're going to go over to Eclipse here, and we're going to start at the beginning. So when you do hook up this Arduino board, you need to provide an APN number. You can get this from your carrier. The APN number is what connects you to their network, and so you'll have to call them and ask them for their APN. Mine is pda.bell.ca because I work with Bell Mobility in Canada here, and that's about all there is about that. I've done all the heavy lifting in the background. We'll get into that in later videos if you guys are interested. So I set the user agent, so this is what's going to show up in your log files if you hit a server or anything like that. I just set it as NimbleLink Shield. You can label it whatever you want. For instance, I have a device that I developed that's a coordinator, so I have it labeled coordinator version whatever, so I know that which version of hardware is hitting my server at any given point in time. Now we defined serial modem as the serial 1 port, pins 19 and 18. Yeah, that's correct. So that connects to your modem to run your modem, and debug serial is on port serial, just serial or serial 0. That's what we use to communicate to this screen here on the serial monitor view. Now I'm using Eclipse instead of the Arduino IDE. The reason I use it is because I find it a lot more handy and set up. It just has a lot more ton of features. So we're going to go through the code a bit here. First of all, you start the modem at 115,200 baud rate, and then you just wait for it to start, and then you can go carry on. Then you create the modem class, and you go debug serial, and then pass serial modem. So once again, that's serial 1 and serial 2. As you can see, I have defined debug serial as serial. The reason I do that is because then I know anywhere in my code that I have debug serial is just printing data to the screen. Okay, so we start by beginning the debug serial at 9600. The baud rate for the modem is 15 115, 200. And then we create an object called modem, which is modem debug serial, as we went through that. The modem class is right here in the code. Okay. Then we set its user agent, which we discussed earlier. And then I just print starting modem and modem start modem. Now if we go to modem.h, you can go through this and you'll see what each of the functions do that I've written. Modem starts the modem by powering it up so that it has to turn on certain pins in a certain order in order for it to get it to start correctly. We're not going to get into those details because I did the heavy lifting once again for that. And then the initialization of the modem. So when you initialize your modem for the first time, you used to have to pass it the APN so that it can communicate and connect with your network. However, it also sets a bunch of different settings in the background, like it turns echo off. Echo is when you type in a command such as this, attention. It's a Haynes thing. It stands for attention. It just comes back with the result 0, which is good. Means we're connected. So there's that. Then we can get the modem signal strength here just by going modem get signal strength. It returns the RSSI and the signal. Now we're going to go into that a little bit more in detail here. Modem get signal strength. Here we are. Okay, so this is the command @CSAQ. Now I've pulled up the Telit Wireless Solutions modem. This is the manual, the @reference guide for it. So I'm just going to search for this command, and as you can see, we've got two things here. Here we are. Okay, so if we read up on this, it tells us what it is, and the first number tells you the decibel strength of the signal. The other one tells you the receive signal strength, the RSSI. So you kind of need that to know what is going on and whether your modem's got a good signal strength or not. Okay, so the signal strength gets returned by that. So I'm just gonna reboot my modem here. So I'm gonna clear the screen. I'm gonna reboot, and we're starting the modem. Go back to test here so you know what's going on. We're starting the modem, which takes about 15 seconds. And then I'm initializing the modem, even though I've already done it. I'm doing it again just so that to show the code. It's not necessary once you've done it once to ever run that command again. As a matter of fact, when I set up my program that works with the modem, it's set up so that it initializes the modem and then it never does it again, just to save time. Because initializing the modem takes a bit of time because it's setting a bunch of settings in the background. Okay, so you can type in that command that we searched here. As you can see, modem is started. The signal strength is 3. The RSSI is 19, which is poor. I believe it's poor. I'd have to read the details again. Is it connected to the network? It returns 0, so it is. Is there a network outage? It's returned 0, so it's good. We opened the WebSocket. A WebSocket is so that you can post HTTP to the server. It's kind of like using post. Or get if you wanted to use get. This program is set up to use post. And then we get the modem IP address, and the modem, we close the socket. So all that is in here. Now if I wanted to send a SMS message, once again I've done the heavy lifting. You just would comment out this, put your phone number in there without the 1 for our country code. In North America we put a 1 in front. We're not going to put that 1. And then we put in the phone number and the message, and it'll pop right up on the screen. I tested it this morning just before I ran this program. So there you go. That's kind of everything. So if you want to do this, you just hit this command and it returns the result. @CSQ returns 19, 3. And then return status of 0, which means it's good. Um, so what we want to do is we're not going to get into the details because this manual has a lot of pages to it. I believe it's around 400 or 500. So there's a lot to know. Yeah, it's 499 pages long, and it's very intimidating when you first start. But once you start to read it and break it down into steps, it's actually not bad. Uh, it is worth reading the all of the information in the beginning, because before you start the at command reference, because it explains to you what is being stored where, how the manual works, these sorts of things. So if you're going to decide to program or modify the program that I've provided on GitHub, you would want to read this very carefully and then get it. So then you can go to at command references here, and there is a pile of at commands. Now this modem is able to have a address book. It can dial out. It can receive and send voice messages. It can SMS. It can FTP. It does anything that a regular cellular modem does, or sorry, cellular phone does. So it's quite powerful. So we're not, like I said, I don't want to get into details like this. If you guys have questions or concerns, you can always just post them on the site, and I can look at them, or I can help you with them. So we're going to go back to what I have done. Now it's a very basic program because I've only needed the modem for HTTP post. So one of the functions is connected, so it checks to see if your modem is connected to the network and modem is online. Bool network outage, it tests to tell you if there's a network outage. Initialize modem, we've gone through that. Start modem, stop modem, you can stop the modem. Get GPS location, I believe that's under development. That's something I'm going to be working on here actually in the next coming month or two. I'm just waiting on I'm negotiating for an antenna for my project. Once I get that antenna, I'll be able to do GPS. GPS signal's too weak on the little antenna that you see here. It comes with the antenna that comes with it. This little whip antenna, or not a whip antenna, sorry, but this little antenna, you can't really see it, is really poor. So I'm going to get a way better one. Anyway, so we're going to work on getting GPS location. You can get the signal strength. You can get the IP of the address you're at. You can set your user agent. Obviously, open a WebSocket, close a WebSocket. Once again, you're opening a WebSocket so that you're connected to the network so that you can post or get in HTTP information. So this is get HTTP. You can get all sorts of information. Now, one of the interesting things you're going to wonder about is I put a token lock on here. And the reason I put a token lock on it, you'll have to read the code a bit to understand what's going on there. But I put a token lock because if it gets the HTTP, it returns the whole web page. It returns the headers, and then it returns what's left. So I put a token lock so it prints it out before from my web server and then after, and I can isolate what's in between to get the information that's relevant. Same with send HTTP or HTTP post. Then you can send an SMS message, reset the modem, reset emergency, reset modem to factory. And then in the background there's all these private functions which you guys won't need if you're just using these basic functions. I'm going to try and come up with an example for the get HTTP and send HTTP post so that you guys can understand what's going on there. But once again, we're just going to go back to the manual real quick here. We're going to try and find, I don't know, something that you guys would you know what, I'll do that in the next video here, or when I attach to this video. Okay, we're signing off.